Oh yeah, no surprise to me. Gunmay getting that 10-point lead here in Dino in second. Bit of a underwhelming performance from Escha there, but maybe it's just the composition that Escha tried to rely on there. Tried to go for that, Candyland-ish, that sorcerer composition. Maybe it needs to swap it up a little bit, and then we'll see him have some greater success in the coming games here. But again, we still have a few more. We still got a lot of galaxies. We did see the Little Legends galaxy, but how many galaxies even are there at this point? There's probably like 9, 10. There's a lot. Actually, I have the patch notes open. Let's see. 3, 6. There's 9
9
galaxies.
galaxies, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
right now.
well, I'm always excited when we get a galaxy just because it changes up the game a little bit. Even if it's a small amount, it just gives us a different kind of taste that the competitors have to go for. And I know it does it can mess with some strategies, but I think adaptability is a big thing that we talk about in TFT and how important adaptability is. And the great thing about galaxies is it has really increased the need for that adaptability. There is these different things that can happen in each game, and you have to be able to adapt and conquer that specific galaxy. But with that, I think we're going to be getting into game very shortly for game number 2. Can Gunmay take it again? Can he get the back-to-back first? Or do you think Hidden Dino, maybe even Escha is going to come back, or one of the new blood like Khris or VanTooren or Candor showing their stuff this time around?
I mean, Khris, a new competitor here, went to composition that, is not kind of very, I don't want to say not skill expressive, because you still have to play the composition well, but it's a Xayah competition, a Xayah composition rather. It kind of plays itself. He was able to get top 4 with it, and I am impressed from that, but I do want to see a bit more from Khris here to, really solidify how strong that he is. Was able to actually not get the item he wanted, end up getting the rod here. But I also at the same time wouldn't be surprised to see Gunmay, manage to just completely wreck games 1 and 2 as he usually does. We are on Galactic Armory right now, and we have a Thieves Gloves plus Runeans as everybody's items. Thieves Gloves, obviously super versatile. Runeans, a little bit less so. They're usually good on things like Jhin, Jinx, maybe even like a Lucian, but outside of that, generally not going to see too much optimal use there.
Yeah, I feel like as far as if you were competing, you probably hate to see a Thieves Gloves as one of them, but I feel like it's so much fun to watch the Thieves Gloves because a lot of the early rounds may be determined by Thieves Gloves RNG.
Yep.
As everyone's going to be getting different random items, so not only do we get the armory, but we get extra items on top of that because it is a Thieves Glove. So I'm super excited to see what we get and see some of the shenanigans that happen early game due to these Thieves Gloves being picked up.
Yeah, I mean, as a spectator, as a caster, even it's really exciting to see Thieves Gloves and how players, play around that. But as a player, needing to scout, every single board, not every single board, just maybe the ones that you're going to go up against, but to see what those Thieves Gloves give, because maybe they could roll a Zephyr, they could roll a Shroud of Stillness, so you need to be watching out for that and position well against it. It just adds a lot a lot more that you need to worry about as a player here, and it's going to really we're going to see that in terms of the skill expression, that extra additional mechanic, that extra additional scouting that is needed. We'll really see either players shine or fall based off of that.
Yeah, and Hidden Dino's got the entire Galactic Armory on his bench right now. He's picked up, 3 additional items in the first 2 rounds. We'll see if he picks up any more. I think it's probably unlikely, but maybe. No, there it is. He's got the whole armory.
4 items plus, 8 completed components now with the Galactic Armory, giving 2 full items here. Not a lot of gold though. What does Hidden Dino do? It has a Darius, but doesn't have any other pirate. I would probably slam the Thieves Gloves on the Darius, Runeans on the Kazakhs. What else do you do though? I guess Runeans just goes on something random right now. Potentially that is the Ziggs.
Yeah, I feel like if you want a win streak, you have to be playing your Thieves Gloves 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Like almost every person should have these Thieves Gloves slammed. We see, of course, on Darius, that's Bloodthirster plus a Rod, and that's a Titan's Resolve on a tier 2 Poppy. I feel like that's going to be pretty solid. We'll see if any of the lifesteal can actually come through for Darius, but it looks like he's going to be taken down by the Runans on that Lucian, and Dino going to lose the first round. Running, I mean, that's a very strong board that he's representing right now.
Yeah, Poppy 2, Titan's Resolve, Lucian with a bow and a Runans. Maybe gonna get you know, red buff on that in the future. Be able to spread that with Blaster as well as that Runans. Going to be strong. Candor here has the Xayah with Runans. Maybe we see Candor commit to Xayah composition here, you know? Has Caitlyn's, has Jarvan, has a Fiora. Deathblade plus Runans is a build that players were starting to really adapt to with Xayah. Want to see if Candor, if he decides to go for that route or not. That Xayah is going to be vulnerable to any Blitzcranks if they're in that corner, but doesn't look like they are. Thieves Gloves goes on to the Yasuo now. It's going to be a Warmogs plus a Rod. A lot of Rods here from the Thieves Gloves over the past couple rounds.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Warmogs at this stage in the game is just a lot of HP. Like, you can't kill this Yasuo. Gonna take down the Graves, and Hidden Dino gonna be able to get this one. It's just, you know, Thieves Gloves making the difference a lot of the time. Maybe some of these rounds wouldn't matter, but a lot of these items have been quite impactful already, and get to continue to see the Fiesta. Your favorite, of course, Thieves Gloves Malphite. Absolutely, you know, Khroen loves when people put Thieves Gloves on Malphite. One of his favorite things.
Definitely a decision that players sometimes make. Do I like it? I mean, okay, it gives him 20% dodge. If he happens to roll some good defensive items, sure. But Malphite just can't use some of the items very, very well at all. Okay. Thank you, Magarky, for selling your Thieves Gloves Malphite and switching it to something else right now. It's going to go in the Casanova. Man,
that's actually really interesting. So this is something I just didn't know because I hadn't like swapped the Thieves Gloves after it re-rolls. So casting gets a new roll. He gets the Hand of Justice and a cloak. So pretty interesting to see. But this is going to be this Poppy, which is just an absolute menace with her chalice and bow. But no, there's the snipe from the Caitlyn, so Magarky's going to be able to take that one. I thought that maybe she would live with that extra shield, but no, the snipe just does far too much damage.
Yeah, no, it is very, very, very powerful there. Able to take out the Poppy through the shield. It got a little bit close though, but Caitlyn able to win that round. There is one spatula. Gunmay like went for it, but then decided, nah, I don't want it. Just kidding. I'm gonna grab the glove instead. Running, not grabbing that spat, so probably not going for mech again, as that did not really work out well for him in game number 1. See what running is up to here once we get into the preparation phase for the next round. Running grabbed a Rod. Okay, has the Poppy, Thieves Gloves, Deathblade right now. Also has the Renans on a Caitlyn too. A couple Chronos, couple Vanguards. I mean, this is a solid early game board here. Nothing really committal, but preserving a bit of HP nonetheless. He took 2 losses, but still at 94, so lost to like 1 unit, then 2 units.
Yeah, it looked like it was Escha that picked up the spat, so I'll want to keep eyes on where that spatula goes, what it does. I always love checking out and seeing what happens with the spatulas, as that can change up the game a little bit. But going up against VanTooren is running here. He does have that Deathblade Poppy, like we mentioned, getting some more attack speed onto his Caitlyn, see if she can take down the front of this board here. There's another Poppy, and pretty much the snipe just wasted on a 1 HP TF in the back, so we'll see if we can get another one out, but Zoe gonna take her down, so now it's just Poppy v Poppy, and the Deathblade is really stacked up, so maybe we'll see this Poppy start to win because of all that extra damage going against the death cap of the enemy Poppy, VanTooren's Poppy. So running versus VanTooren's Poppy, the Deathblade versus the hat, and the hat's definitely going to be too much. Rabadon's death cap going to give a lot of damage, a lot of shielding, and yeah, Poppy easily going to take that one. But Escha does have the spat, nothing else with it yet on the bench, but it looks like it may be looking for a rebel spat in the future. I mean, we see already a bunch of rebels, or demolitionist spat, of course, for the Ziggs to set him up later.
I do wonder. I mean, a couple of Zigs, a few Zigs, even with Seraphs, but we also wait. He scouted two other players, Gunmay, and who else was this? Got another player with Seraph Zigs as well. So players trying to maybe not default to that, but at least have that as an option there. I didn't expect to see so many, but here we are. Escha though is 40 gold on a win streak right now. 4 win streak before Terror Bursters. I don't think he'll be able to maintain it though, as he's going to fall to Krisz here. I mean, 40 gold though. Escha's in a pretty good spot, even if he doesn't maintain a streak.
Yeah, it looked like Escha was almost accepting of losing this round with his 100 HP. He didn't really do anything to try and win it. He could have leveled, he could have done a number of things, but he wanted to stay at 40 gold, and in order to do anything to be stronger, he of course wouldn't have been able to maintain that. So really valuing the econ there. And Escha, of course, is going to be very rich. He does lose the win streak gold, so there's always argument for trying to keep that. But Escha deciding that the just natural econ going to be a little bit better for him there, maybe feeling he couldn't get strong enough to guarantee his win, and decides to go for the guaranteed gold. Yeah,
maybe so. There wasn't too much better on the bench to add there if he did level up, so I don't really fault that decision. There's Hidden Dino, Escha, and Gunmay, all of them with a Seraph Ziggs. Seraphs isn't even one of the galactic items here, so the fact that all those players got 2 tiers at this point is so strange. It makes this game a lot more dynamic. Will players be kind of bullied into pivoting out? You know, the kind of the set 3 curse word pivoting, but Hidden Dino's not pivoting. Hidden Dino's rolling it down. Hasn't found any more Ziggs, but has found a tier 3 Malphite already.
Yeah, it's Shaq and Little Kobe.
Yeah,
he's got tier 1 Ziggs now.
Tier
now
2.
It's now tier 2.
But still, I mean, that's only 3 Ziggs in a world where Ziggs is a hotly contested unit right now, a hot commodity. This Renance is just gonna sit on the bench gathering dust, awaiting for a Jinx to be found.
Ooh, Blitzcrank griefing his Ziggs. Runs out of the way to snipe, and actually that could have made a big difference in this round. I mean, if Ziggs was up a little bit longer, potentially could have won this, because this Malphite is just an absolute unit. But of course he's not doing any damage, so he will just slowly go down to running's board, and Dino gonna lose that one, dropping down to 75 HP on a 4-loss streak. Gunmay a full bench as well.
Yeah, it's kind of a big beefy wall there is that Malphite. Gunmay did not roll. Gunmay has only 1 Ziggs. If anyone's pivoting out, it's probably going to be Gunmay here. He's already picking up other units, thinking about what he's going to do here. He could level up to 6, as some players do on 3-2, but will opt to not. He's on a 2 streak here, which I'm kind of surprised. Gunmay's board doesn't look all that strong here. Going up against Candor, who looks like he has committed to going as Xayah, is also going to be slow rolling. Has 4 Xayahs right now, so not that many, but still really good items here. Going to be taking out Gunmay, I believe, unless the Kate snipe does something insane here, and it
almost does.
Almost, not quite. It was close though.
Yeah, almost gets there for Gunmay, but he does lose his streak. Kind of wanted that extra gold. Now he's gonna have to sell something if he wants to make 50.
Yeah, I mean, he has a full bench, kind of picks and chooses what he wants to sell here. I imagine it wouldn't be too hard to pick something. Candor on 60 HP. Made a Blitzcrank too. Not usually what you want to make, or what you look to make in a Shredder composition here. But it's going to replace the Caitlyn for now. Huh.
Yeah, I'm curious. I guess, I mean, of course, it gets Trap Clawed immediately from the Thieves' Gloves, interestingly enough. Shen doing a lot of work here, though. A lot of damage being blocked by the Spirit's Refuge. And now the Vi's in the back line, but she's going to go down to the Shredder pretty quick. It's just the Ziggs remaining if he can actually crank out enough damage. Sona healing him up. But yeah, not going to be enough. Shredder going to be able to find that win. Still, Candor looking quite strong. A lot of gold. Not as much HP, but takes down Escha, who is one of the higher HP members of the lobby. That is, I believe, Krisz at 100 HP still, though.
Yeah, Krisz. On level 7 already, so another player who opts to go. I think it was Hidden Dino last game, right? But yeah, now it is Chris going to level 7 even before round 3-5. It's not little legends galaxy, but it's a game of TFT in set 3 in this patch where players value HP, value that kind of that Ine style of play, wanting to play the strongest board, wanting to push levels, keep your win streak going, and make the gold that way. And just preserving HP makes so much of a difference. You're not worried as much going to the late game. It's not a matter of, oh, if you have one bad loss, you get eliminated. But still on 20 gold as well. I mean, Chris is in a really good spot. That is a thing that I said going into this game, is I wanted to see if Chris was able to be, a flexible player, able to get those top fours, maybe even get a win with another style of play, and he's doing it here. So I'm really impressed with Chris so far here tonight.
Yeah, he's looking really good, looking to take down some very good fight night players, people who've been here doing extremely well for a very long time. Of course, Escha a little bit newer, Hidden Dino a little bit newer, but Gunmay, a mainstay of Fight Night. He's been around forever.
He's part of the main cast at this point.
Yeah, he's part of the main cast. He's not a guest star anymore. He's been upgraded. And we've got Gunmay is definitely someone we've seen quite a bit of and is constantly performing. So being able to do well against the likes of Gunmay is incredibly impressive.
Definitely. So Gunmay, we see him week in week again. Top 3 after top 3. VanTooren, we see here, is going for some Candyland. Is actually pretty far away from everything though. Is slow rolling. Wants to keep rolling it down. I mean, that's one Leona away from Leona 3, but you already have a Wukong. Do you even want this Leona is the question. Honestly, I mean, he's already committed so hard to this Leona route.
Yeah, he has like 2 Aris there as well.
Yeah, doesn't want the Ari, at least not the tier 3 rather. Runens is just on the Zoe, not really doing too much there, so a bit of an unfortunate item for the direction that VanTooren wanted to go. This Poppy very, very tanky though. Bramble and Deathcap. Deathcap Poppy, increasing the damage and the shields for her. Huge in terms of taking out running here.
Yeah, and the Thieves Glove Poppy on the other side can't contend with the nearly perfect items already. Item Poppy for VanTooren. Gonna be able to take that round pretty easily, but trying to find everything else he needs. There's another TF here, but he's only got 1 on the bench.
Prioritizes the Zoes over the TF. Prioritizes having the Leona as well. I mean, there's another TF with the Poppy, so fortunately can pick that one up. Another Poppy though, so decisions will have to be made. Just sells the TFs. I guess TF is not gonna have any items here, and it did get nerfed a patch or 2 ago, so the tier 3 TF will do a bit less damage. If VanTooren finds Poppy 3 here, I mean, he'll be in a good spot.
What, 4 away? Has no bench space.
From Poppy? 2.
Oh no, that's a tier 2 away. That's tier 2. I thought it was tier 1 on the side. I was like, 4 away seems like really insane. Okay, so he just needs 1 more then, and he found it. So he can Nikos if he wants.
He could. He'll probably roll just to see in case he happens to get a natural, or I mean, not a natural one, but one during the roll down. Did not, and instead of dropping below 50 gold, he does decide to Nico here. I don't know if I would have made the same play. I might have rolled down to like 40 here, see if I found something, and then Nico'd whatever I didn't find. Is gonna pick up at least 1 Ari here, maybe both of them. Has already skipped a lot of Aris though, but now has the bench space at least, so there's that.
Yeah, he definitely like rolled past a lot of things that he probably wanted just due to bench space being a problem. And you mentioned that maybe we don't even want this Leona because we have the Wukong in. And that could have been 4 spots on the bench that could have gone towards making a tier 3 Ari, a tier 3 TF, anything like that. So
yeah,
does feel like a rough decision, but it will pay off at least in the long run, getting that tier 3 Leona in.
Also not removing the Wukong yet, so maybe we'll go for Vanguards. I mean, there's the Mordekaiser's on the bench here. So we'll see if that's the route. Hidden Dino has hit the tier 3 Ziggs, by the way. 47 HP, leveled to level 6 right now. Probably in a good spot. Also, Khris, you know, beat VanTooren that last round, so does maintain that streak. And that's going to be a Titan's Resolve Slam on that Poppy. This Poppy's a beast right now.
Yeah, it's an absolute monster. It's gonna continue to just keep getting these shields. Barely gets the shield broken and then gets a new one. So set up to
Sniped
continue.
here,
Gonna get
though.
sniped, taken down actually. And wow,
Wow.
okay, Caitlyn able to do enough for Magarky to take down VanTooren, but he still looks quite strong. Still has a little bit of ways to go before the comp is complete, but that's tier 3 Malphite, the Shaq, and the Kobe, both tier 3 for Hidden Dino.
Yep. Gonna be very, very, very strong here. Going to be also a Zeke's on the roll here for the Yasuo. Wants to maybe buff Jinx with that. I guess buffing Ziggs is also fine. Levels up even for the other Yasuo in here. I don't dislike that decision. Gives better rolls for Jinxes in the future as well. Definitely desperately needs a tier from this next carousel round, and he's going to be first pick, I would assume, from the carousel. But
Yeah,
against Fallen Skies, who went to 8 on 4-3. 0
Trap
gold.
Claw from the Thieves' Gloves actually stunned up
Oh.
Ziggs at the start, which stopped a lot of the damage. And Ziggs finally goes down, so that actually very likely won that round for Khris here. Is that he actually was able to get that Trap Claw on the Thieves' Gloves on that Fiora in the front line, and it stunned the Ziggs straight away.
Yeah, no, that was very, very good there. The Yasuo like took out the Kaylin in the back, so I thought that maybe Hidden Dino would be able to take that round, but was not able to. That's a GP with a tier there. Going to okay, actually, I want to see what Hidden Dino does. Does he play the GP right now? Wait to see if he gets a tier from the Raptors round, and if he doesn't, then sell the GP to get double Seraph Ziggs? I think that's the play that at least I would be looking for here, but I wonder if Hidden Dino is thinking the same thing right now. He is pretty low, so he does need to be as strong as possible right now to, you know, preserve the rest of the HP that he does have currently. He's thinking about it.
He looked deep in thought originally as well.
He still does.
He still kind of looks deep in thought, trying to figure out
I don't know
exactly
what
how
the right
he wants
play
to
is.
navigate it.
I don't know what the right play is personally.
He's got 10 seconds to decide.
Okay, he
sells
sold it. He sold it.
Puts in another brawler.
Yeah, doesn't even need to utilize mana mechanic here. The Ziggs are just going to ult instantly anyway.
There
Going
it
up
goes.
against
We'll see if he
Magarky
can beat Magarky. The Caitlyn in the back has been doing a lot of work so far, but the
Look at
bombs
the Ziggs
are just
go.
flying, and he's just popping off and taking everything down. Magarky gonna lose that one decisively. Hidden Dino, I mean, looking so strong with the double Seraph Zig, and he's putting a lot of damage. But Khris still 4-5 has not lost 14 game win streak, 14 round win streak.
14 streak here. Has a Jhin on the bench. Probably going to be the transition here into a sort of Vanguard sniper composition. Is still just running a very strong board though. Still running 3 cybernetics right now. Running 2 sniper, 2 chrono, 2 celestial. Just a bunch of small synergies here. And this is very, very reminiscent of a Polt style of play here. Even rolling down before Raptors to get a bit stronger. Did it a little bit late though. So didn't really find anything. So I don't know if I like it the timing wise, but I do like it in theory here. Going up against, actually can't tell here because it doesn't have names on, but that's okay. It is a Jhin 2 though.
Looks like Gunmay. The mole little legend.
True. You've
Giving it
deduced,
away.
You've deduced who it is.
And it looks like Gunmay playing Jhin again. Looking quite good.
Looking pretty strong there. It's 50 gold. Took out Khris's win streak. Wasn't able to maintain that before the Raptors round here. And gold's gonna be a bit hurting because of that. Does find another Xerath though. It's only 1 Xerath away from a tier 2. Doesn't have any great items for it right now. I mean, there's a bow on the Lucian that could turn into a Rage Blade if he's able to get a rod here. Does have Morello's on that Wukong, but it will probably remain there as it is a tier 2 Wukong. Already making some swaps right now. I imagine that Malphite on the bench will get sold. He gets a glove here, can make a QSS or a Trap Claw, one of the two. I'd assume QSS for the Xerath though, as that is a very staple item. Doesn't get any items though there. Oof.
Ton of gold, which isn't really what he wants. Definitely looking for items here.
Yeah, it depends on what he rolls here with that gold. If he does roll down or tries to commit.
He could econ back up, I guess,
Yeah.
because he does have a lot of HP to play with.
What are these thieves gloves gonna go on to? Okay, is rolling a little bit. Another gangplank. Not really the best rolls here. Okay, thieves gloves going on to the Xerath. Zephyr going into the Lux. That's a good Zephyr onto the Caitlyn there.
Xerath gets Zephyred as well, but he is just a tier 1, so we'll see once he gets out of it if he can start firing away with this Death Blade, try and get a bunch of damage out. Does have the ulti going down, not really doing too much damage overall, but it looks like the board in general of Khrisz is still incredibly strong, so
yeah.
Caitlyn on the other side trying to do what it could, but it can't do enough for Magarky. That's going to be the round going to Khrisz. Khrisz still only lost a single round this entire game going into 5-1. Another carousel coming up as well, so we'll see what items he potentially wants and where he goes with the rest of these rolls. But that's an interesting shop here for running.
Wow. Oh man, he just keeps clicking the Jid. Oh, sold the Wukong actually. Wow, that is a bold play. A play that you probably need to make though, being at 22 HP right now, if you're running. He has perfect or near perfect item. I would say this is perfect item Xerath. Having a Rage Blade, Death Cap, and a QSS. Not going to be buffed up by any karmas though.
Yeah, he's got the Nikos on the bench if he just finds one more Xerath.
Yep.
Decided not going to be stopped by Cho'Gath because of the Quicksilver, and he's starting to pump out a lot of damage. I don't know if he can do quite enough, but there is the Jhin still up on the side. Does proc the GA, but he gets taken down, and there's still the Jhin available for that's Candor. So running gonna lose a little bit more HP, dropping very, very low down to 15. But Escha also 18 HP.
VanTooren dropping very low there to 5 HP actually there as well. We see Hidden Dino, Escha running, and VanTooren all nearly within one shot of dying. I believe if Hidden Dino somehow loses to like every single unit, could be the case here. But we see Escha going for a more versatile style of play here, going for a multiple item carry, the play where you hit, and he hit an MF2, hit an Irelia, doesn't have cybernetics with it, but does have 3 Blade Masters, and it's a Kale with an RFC. And the RFC is the only item though. Escha going up against, who is this? Gunmay. MF ulti's gonna come out here and get Trap Clawed though. Against the
does
Jhin.
Not hit the right targets there, and then of course hitting the Jhin does do the Trap Claw, and that's gonna take down Escha. He's gonna drop all the way to 1. I thought he might have died there, but
yeah, that was close. Very close. Running does fall though, going 8th 2 times in a row. Not a performance I expect to see from running there. VanTooren going to fall as well. We have our 7th place player, and we have our top 6 right now. Hidden Dino did, I believe, win that round, so he remains on 19 HP.
I love the not 8th pop off from VanTooren.
Yeah.
He's got the not 8th popping off a little bit. He's like, oh boy, that would have been rough. But Hidden Dino quite low, as well as Escha. Hidden Dino probably has 2 lives left at 19. It's possible to go down, but very difficult.
1, probably 2. But I mean, going back to the 7th place pop off, the not 8th. I mean, it is important in solo queue as well as tournament formats. Every point does matter, and getting 7th sometimes is going to be the difference between going for a top 4 for the night versus a top 3 versus maybe a 5th. Getting invited back for next week versus not getting any of the money at all, any of this prize pool. Hidden Dino though, very, very strong, has hit Guardian Angel Gangplank, has the Jinx to be able to hit on the next round. He's going to lock here. Going up against Khrisz though.
Yeah,
See,
Khris still hasn't hit the Zerath. He doesn't have that. Actually, Chris's comp doesn't look that strong anymore. He's not looking
no.
that scary. And Hidden Dino on the other side with 19 HP looks terrifying. That
Yep.
is the tier 3 Yasuo, tier 3 Malphite, tier 3 Ziggs. Really insane items as well. And Escha,
Oh
unfortunately,
no.
they're going to fall to Magarky going down in 6th. I think that's back-to-back 6th for Escha.
I think so. Back to back 6th. Maybe he can bring it back after the next or for the next 2 games here. Hidden Dino has reached the power spike. Khris, while his board looked weak, he is on 65 HP. He's probably going to top 4 this game just purely because of how well he played the early game, and he can still econ up to try to go 9 or to roll down to hit some units here. And maybe go for even more than just a top 4. Go for something like a top 1 or top 2. And
And
this is
these
Candor here.
Zephyrs hitting pretty well, hitting onto the Ziggs.
Yeah.
It's incredibly important. The Shredder in the back, that is the Xayah staying alive. Knock up on Ziggs. He's finally starting to get to pop off. So here come the shots going over and over. Gets the stun, setting those up, but going to go down to the Jhin, and Candor going to take that. Dino dropping very low, but he just needs to watch the Zephyr positioning of potentially just Candor. I mean, that's something that can spell disaster, especially since now Dino is 1 away from lethal.
Wait, Candor is not even playing 3 Blade Master with the Xayah 3 here. I mean, he won the last round, basically, I would say, due to that Jhin, the Runan strikes hitting that Ziggs. But I mean, I guess he's going to go to level 9 and play 3 BMs. But I think I would say 3 BM is better than something right now. Hard to say what, I suppose. Finds any random old BM in the form of a Master Yi there, and is going to be aggressively leveling to 9.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think
looking at
something in
it,
this better.
maybe he could have replaced. Well, no, Ash is giving the 4 Celestial as well, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably not Ash. It might have been. I mean, Cho'Gath's tier 2, I guess, but I don't know. Maybe this is the play. Maybe Candor is playing this correctly. That Ash is in the front line, though. That's going to be falling probably pretty soon here.
Yeah, should be taken down right away, maybe making a little bit of time, but the Zephyr going on to the Shredder herself, the Xayah, but she's going to start putting out a lot of damage now that she's out of it, alongside the Jhin in the back line doing plenty of work, but the Caitlyn from Magarky has been an MVP all night, and then yet again going to take down the Jhin, put him in the Guardian Angel, and Magarky going to win this one. Just really, it is just a Caitlyn carry for Magarky.
Yep, that it is, and it's working out very well. I mean, Magarky's on a win streak on that on 38 HP, highest in the lobby. Khris has fallen a little bit more on 34 HP now, but Hidden Dino, Gunmay, and Candor all potentially within 1 shot of falling here. Players are going to start to face each other soon, and that's when we will see what happens in terms of the top 4 standings. I think if you're Gunmay, you just sell the Zoe here for the Casan, right? Maybe just wants the Thresh pull in. Values that even more. I guess when Thresh pulls in Zoe, she instantly stuns something, so it's not bad. I guess I can see the reasoning there. Going against Magarky, though, and the Jhin got Zephyr'd.
Yeah, and the Jace with the big power slams making this look easy, and we just have Jhin in the back line to be able to finish off Magarky, and it feels like the Caitlyn has fallen off a little bit. I mean, we did see Magarky win around recently, but he is starting to fall fairly quickly.
Ooh,
and we're going to see everybody falling quickly, but starting with Candor, of course, making our top 4, Magarky, Gunmay, Khris, and Hidden Dino. So yet again, we see Gunmay, Khris, and Hidden Dino in the top 4.
Yeah, I really didn't expect the top 4 to be this close. I mean, everyone's done 1 shot of falling. 2 players will likely fall here. There's a world where Magarky or Gunmay, I believe, could live if the fight is very, very close. I think to your point of the Caitlyn being outscaled, I think I definitely agree with that. I don't know if it can be enough, which would be unfortunate if Magarky goes out in 4th here with how well he's played this game. Going up against Khris, though, the Zephyr hitting on the Karma and not the Caitlyn is huge.
Yeah, and we're going to see the Caitlyn try and pump out enough damage for Magarky. Of course, this is actually the exact same top 4 as we saw in the previous game, but this is going to be too much for Magarky. I think he goes down here. Oh, no, maybe?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Gunmay falling behind. Gunmay in 3rd. So Gunmay still having a really, really good games 1 and 2 here. Got 1st, got 3rd. He's probably going to be... well, it depends on Hidden Dino's placement, I suppose. Hidden Dino could potentially get 1st here.
Yeah, who do you think has an edge in the final round here? I mean, essentially one of them's winning here. Looks like Krisz.
It depends on a couple of things. Depends on if GP can get an ultimate off. It depends on what Xerath targets. It depends on what Krisz Zephyrs. If the Zephyr is good, I think that Krisz could win the round. I think that Zephyr is going to be good. It's going to go on to the Ziggs there. Wait, does it? Yeah, it does. Okay.
Yeah, got the Ziggs. That's huge. And there's the pull in from the Thresh, and we get a hook, pulling something forward. GP ult goes down. A lot of stuns on the Ziggs, though, but now he has time. Ziggs has time, and he's making space. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be enough. Yeah, Ziggs able to find it. Krisz gonna end up losing this one to Hidden Dino. Hidden Dino gonna pick that 1st place up, which will put him in current 1st place for the night. Set up for 2 games left, but Hidden Dino maybe back-to-back champ if he can win this one. We'll see. Very close race between him, Gunmay, Magarky, and Krisz. They're all up there.
Definitely. I think we're going to be able to get a bit of an updated score sheet in a minute for you all, but yeah, Hidden Dino going to be at 18 points and Gunmay at 17 points. Both are neck and neck here. And yeah, followed by Krisz and Magarky. Magarky we have seen on Fight Night before, performing very well in the 2nd appearance here. But Krisz, I mean, 14 points, only 4 behind Hidden Dino. Krisz kind of making a name for himself here already in his 1st performance after 2 games.
Yeah, doing incredibly well. You know, same people, consistency, as we always talk about, same people in the top 4, same people in the bottom 4. We'll see how it shakes up. But first, we're going to go into a quick 5-minute break, and we'll see the conclusion of this Fight Night Rising after that.